Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Dose. I can remember vividly when my son started kindergarten. See, our son had, of course, never been to kindergarten before, but his brother had. So he had his whole family, all of us, and other adults in his life telling him, "You'll do great. Kindergarten's going to be wonderful. Just think about your older brother. He loved kindergarten. You'll get to do these things like recess, art and music and science, things that are going to be so exciting. These are all things you should look forward to." We thought the fact that he had never experienced these things, that he didn't have any tough or traumatic school experiences that he had gone through, we thought that that meant he was a clean slate, that he'd come into kindergarten ready for all the excitement and adventures. But that wasn't what happened at all. It turns out just the idea of school in a new place with all these new people and teachers that he'd never met before, just thinking about it brought him a lot of anxiety. Of course, he couldn't tell us that. He didn't know that his thoughts about the unknown were causing him to be really anxious. And if you asked him now, he wouldn't remember it. He's had, thankfully, a ton of professionals and teachers at the school, shout out to Lincoln Elementary, who've really helped him figure out how to work these things out. But as I was reflecting on this week's Daily Dose, Anxious for Nothing, I paused and I realized how much anxiety can really manifest itself just in our thoughts. Regardless of what we've gone through before, sometimes, even though we haven't had these experiences, thinking about the unknown causes us to be anxious. And we do this as adults too, right? It may not come out as outbursts or in a classroom or fear about math class. But what about those times when you tell yourself a story about what you think a friend or a family member is thinking about you? Even just saying that out loud, you can hear how crazy it sounds, but we do this. Like I do, I realize it's really hard to confront tough things with family or friends. It's way easier to craft those stories in our minds. And the next thing we know, we are second guessing our own qualities as a sibling or as a partner or as a friend. Rather than picking up the phone or stopping by to talk to somebody, we say, okay, so she didn't text me back, therefore she must not love me anymore, and I must be a failure as being a friend. We craft these thoughts without any proof or validation that they actually exist. Well, the book of Philippians in the Bible gives us some powerful tools to step back from these thoughts that bring so much anxiety. We hear written by Paul in Philippians 4, verse 8, "Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." Now, Paul, throughout his writing, doesn't teach us that anxiety is unavoidable. The Bible doesn't teach us that. In fact, even stories of Jesus show that he was struggling and anxious at times. And sometimes our anxiety is more than we can handle on our own. And there are counselors and doctors who we can and should seek out. But this week on the Daily Dose, we want to remind you that when we hold on to the promises of Jesus, we can have peace of mind and spirit. So today, I invite you to be specific with yourself. What would it look like for you to get out of your heads, to remember that God is near, that God wants you to let your worries go and to your requests to be known to Him? What would it mean for you, instead of being captured by your thoughts of the unknown, to instead think about the things that God knows for you, the things that are true, honorable, just, pure, pleasing, commendable, excellent, or worthy of praise? This is the freedom that God wants for you and for me, the freedom that you deserve. Thanks so much for watching the Daily Dose this week. If you missed an earlier Daily Dose from this week, we invite you to head to our YouTube channel and you can catch up, hit subscribe so you're updated every time we add a new video. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.